Are you guys ready? Because today we are going to be doing some preponizing.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Melinda, plain and simple.
It's Tuesday, and that means it's time for another Tiny Tidy. And today I'm going to be doing something that was a viewer suggestion. Now last week for my Tiny Tidy, I took the suggestion from Nancy Rutman. She had left a comment that maybe it might be a good idea to move stuff over from the cardboard boxes into the plastic bins that I had emptied out. I had the same idea, but Nancy said it will make it more uniform looking, and I thought, you know what? She's exactly right. And the great thing is, all of that stuff and a little bit more fit into those bins, so it worked out really great. But after I saw Nancy's comment and already started doing that, I saw another comment on the same video, and it was Cinderellafan, and she had another great suggestion, and that's what I'm going to be doing for my Tiny Tidy today. So if you've got something that you need to tidy up around your house, grab your stuff and come on. We'll do it together. I'm going to show you exactly what Cinderellafan suggested that I do. Cinderellafan had a suggestion, and that was to use my cabinets for my office supplies, my craft supplies, and my sewing supplies. I don't know that I'm going to need a whole cabinet for sewing supplies. I don't even know if I'll need a whole one for crafting supplies. Maybe as I'm working, I may need an extra one for my office supplies because I have way too many. But I thought that was a great idea because it will help me go as I go forward as well. Because I do intend to come back and revisit the stuff. But as I'm going through more stuff, that will give me a place to go ahead and put those items. So that's the thing I love about it. Not only is it a great suggestion, but it also will make things easier for me as I go forward with my decluttering. I told Cinderellafan that I am calling this preponizing, preparing to organize, because I don't really want to organize my stuff until I get more decluttering done, but I also need to gather my things together so that I can find the things when I need them until I get around to the point where I can actually start organizing. So it's sort of like zoning, but maybe with just a little bit more structure to it. I don't want to buy any bins. I don't want to spend a lot of time thinking about it and deciding just exactly how I want it done. No, I'm just going to prepare for the time when I'm ready to organize. And down the road, once I finish my decluttering and once I see what I'm going to keep and how I want to use it and all of that stuff, then I can actually organize. So for now, I am preparing to organize, preponizing, and that's what we're going to be doing today. I decided to go ahead and move the fabric over to the other shelf, and I put some of those art books up in the top shelf in this cabinet, and some canvases. So I'm just kind of slowly working my way through things, finding stuff and sorting it out, putting it here on these tables. I have some things that are for my writing, some things that are for like art, crafts, sewing, office supplies. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to kind of sort them out so that I'll know where things are. But I'm also finding a lot of pens and pencils, and I don't want to slow down to go through things. That stuff I've already been through them one time, and I don't want to take time to go through and declutter anymore at this point. So I'm going to empty all this out. Most likely I will not use this thing going forward. Right now it's handy for when I'm gathering things, but probably going forward I won't keep it. Can you see what's inside of all of these Nestle's quick containers? More pens. Some of them are art pens or paint pens or whatever, but some of them are just pens and pencils and markers. Well, I emptied these 3 out into that other container, but I'm not going to toss these yet because once I go through all of those, I may actually use these as their containers going forward. Like I may have colored pencils, pens, and regular pencils or something like that. And that way I can separate them. But I left these in here because these are actually paint pens or something like that. And so they're fine as they are. I just found all this fabric over here in this cabinet. When I went through the fabric before, I didn't actually look in here. And I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time on this. So I just grabbed a box and I'm going to toss all of this in here and then go through it. But I want to continue on moving the other things to each cabinet. And then I'll go through this a little bit later. I don't really want to put it on a shelf because maybe I'm not going to keep it. I'll look through it a little bit as I toss it in here, and maybe I can make some decisions as I'm going. We'll see. This was mostly just some muslin and some little fabric scraps, so I just put it all in this cardboard box. I'm going to put the lid on it and put it over there in the shelf with the fabric, and then go through this in the next go round. But I did find a little bag of some fabric and things, and I think maybe I was doing a crafty thing with it or something. I don't know, but whatever this is, I don't need to keep it, so I'm going to go ahead and let that go. But these I'll keep for now, because if you're going to sew something and you want to make your own pattern, it's handy to have some muslin around. I found more stuff that I can let go of, including some plastic bags and some packaging, and this calendar. Hubby made this for me back in 2000, I think 2006. I think that's what it was. Yep. And I don't need to keep it anymore. It's pretty, but I'm not using it. It's just been sitting on a shelf, and I don't need to keep it. I also am going to let go of these office supply things. I think I had gotten these to use for something with my book when I set up my book sales, and I tried to make a little rack to put them on, but it didn't work out. So I don't need to use those. And this thing, I've used this a little bit, but not really that much. And so I'm just going to go ahead and let this go as well. It's a really nice piece, and somebody can use that maybe for their desk or for their sewing area. And I also have a couple more of these. Another one of these things, a pen holder. But I also used this as a pen holder, and this I used as a pen holder. But I don't need to use those. And this one, I didn't ever use this one. So I'm going to go ahead and let that go. Maybe somebody can put it to use. I don't need that clippy. And I don't need this chalk. There's that little crafty thing. I don't need that. And some more of these marker things. They probably don't even work. The other ones didn't work. And then this Afghan cloth. I don't know if it's a tablecloth or what it is, but anyway, Afghan, I guess. But anyway, it's one of those things you can cross stitch or something on it, and I've had it for years. I never did do it, so I'm just going to go ahead and let it go. I'm not doing my cross stitching anymore. And I also decided to go ahead and let this thing go. I had put the pens and pencils in it when I went through them the other day, the ones that I kept in that little, the end of one of the videos the other day, and I used it to put things in, but I'm not going to use it, so it can go. Probably somebody can use it right now. It's back to school time, and it'll be coming handy. But look at all this. Look at all of these pens and pencils and markers. This includes the ones that I have been going through lately in other videos that you've seen. I just dumped them all in here because I wanted them all in one place, and now I can see. I mean, I have let go of a bunch of pens and pencils and markers, and you guys haven't even seen all the ones that I've let go of. I cannot believe how many. And there's actually another container I saw over there that I didn't pull out. It's on a different shelf, and I didn't pull it out. But all of these, I'm going to go through them and pick a few. I do not need to have all of these, but they can come in handy to somebody. And all of these haven't even been, I mean, they're still in their packaging. I mean, really, so many pens and pencils. But this is what happens when you don't have your stuff organized and you have stuff just everywhere. You end up with things, and you buy more things, and you buy more things, and you buy more things. And this is what you end up with. Now, I will say, I don't usually do the Marie Kondo thing, but this is one of those situations where I wanted to have everything together in one space so that I could see it all. And this is one of the reasons that you do that, is because then you can see just how much you have. But it also allows you to say, okay, I can see that I have this kind and this kind and this kind, and I have 20 of this one. I only need 10, or I only need 3, or how, whatever it is for you. But it allows you then to not just see how much you have, but to take a little bit of an inventory and go, okay, I do like these kind and I don't like these kind, but even though I like this kind, I don't need to have that many of this kind. Hopefully that makes sense. And then also, do I really need to have this many? I mean, the erasers go bad on pencils. The ink dries up on pens and markers. So, it's just going to sit there and die before I get around to using it. Yes, I do use a lot of pens and pencils because of my writing, but I'm not going to use this many. They're going to die before I use them up. So, yeah, I'm going to be going through these, not today, but this is something I wanted to show you. I mean, really, seriously. Yeah, nobody needs that many pens and pencils. Maybe a school teacher. So, some school may be getting some pens and pencils soon. But I also found this box down in one of those cabinets, and it is full of papers. I'm not going to go through them yet, but I'm going to put that box down here in this cabinet. That box is one that I still need to go through, and that little box there was also in one of these cabinets, and I need to go through it as well. I peeked in there, and it was full of papers that will take me a little bit longer to actually go through them. So this is what it turned out like, though. This was the whole point, was to get things kind of separated out. It's not really organized, but it is kind of separated out. And if I did need to find something, I would have a general idea of where to look. Now, these, I just know that it is crafty stuff. I don't know necessarily which bin something would be in, but I would know where to look. And then also over here, you can see I have some sewing supplies, and there are some crafty supplies over here. But you can see I have space that hasn't even been filled up yet. And over here too, I have some space. So as I continue finding things and decluttering, I can put those things away as well. Also, I didn't take anything out of these bins, so I could go through here and take some of that stuff out and put it in the cabinets as well, but I'm not going to do that today. And then this shelf, I just had a few little random things that I left on here or put on here. And then this is the one that, at least for right now, has my office supplies and my writing things. And that some of that's the same and some of it's not. These are empty. I use the binders when I am putting together one of my books. But these actually have stuff in them. These actually are empty, and I would pull those out when I would be trying to make decisions and stuff like that. So that's why I have so many. I don't know that I need to have as many as I have, though. So I will probably be letting go of some of those at some point. And then I also, while I was at it, since I had these little baskets here, as I found index cards, I put them in here. And yes, I do have way too many index cards. I found some sticky notes and some little clippies and office things. And these are all little things with writing paper, pad things, paper, different things like that. And then down here in these bins, that's just a mishmash of little office supplies. So that's what that looks like. And then over here, you can see I still got to go through all that out there too. And then over here, this is where I put the containers that I emptied out. And if I don't end up using them as I continue with the decluttering, when I get to the organizing part, if I don't use them, I can let those things go. But I did pull a few of the things off of these shelves. You really can't tell it very much, but I did pull some of the things off of these shelves that went into the categories that I was putting into the cabinets. So I think that was kind of helpful with all of that. So now what I'm going to do is clean all of this stuff up, and then we'll have it reset for when I come back in here to do some more tidying up. Let me clean this up and I'll be right back. It's all too much. It doesn't fit. I need to just declutter it. Let go of some and keep the rest. Set my mind to do my best. I'll sort out everything I own. Put like with like, be in the zone. And when I'm through, I'll recognize that what I've done is prepanize. Well, guys, there you go. That is my tiny tidy for this Tuesday. And I want to say thank you once again to Cinderellafan for suggesting that I use these 3 cabinets as a way to categorize the items that I still have down here in this room in the basement. And thank you to Sunday Dawn from The Helpful Home for hosting Tiny Tidy Tuesdays every week. And be sure you check out that the description box below, because I'm going to have a link to her channel and also to the playlist so you can see all the other tiny tidies that the other ladies are putting together. I'm sure you'll find lots of inspiration and motivation to help you along in your journey as well. So again, let me know if you did any tiny tidying in your home this week along with me. If you decorated, if you organized, if you decluttered, if you cleaned, whatever your tiny tidy was, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. But for now, I'll say goodbye and happy decluttering.
There's my bubby. Did you get your tiny tidy done? Did you get your tiny tidy done today?